Hello everyone and welcome to Mixed Media Monday. We're going to get started. Today I'm going to use a piece of encyclopedia paper, rice paper, the new set of mini mark makers. I have them in a clip seal so then I don't lose them when I got them home, but I think I'm going to take them out now. And potentially these color cards. And we're going to go for a bit of pink, green, and a blue setting because I think we're going to make a flamingo. That's right. So let's get started, shall we? I'm just going to come in and do a bit of ripping. There we go. Just a small bit of ripping of the encyclopedia paper. I don't think I'll need the full piece, but we'll leave a little bit non-ripped just in case we need a bit more later down the track. And if we come in and we also rip our rice paper, this rice paper is from our Known For You collection, or from Scrapbook Fantasies Known For You collection. We just, oh, nope. We go this way, there we go. It's just coming in and giving it a good rip. Okay, and then now with our gel media mat, we're going to come and stick these ones down. So let's just get our glue out a fair amount because we've got a lot of sticking to do. And what we're going to come and do, so we're just going to rub a fair bit down. Put some on the back of our encyclopedia paper. Put a little bit down on top and use the excess over to the side here. So this just helps us get something down on our page. Here we are. Just rub some on the back. Rub some on top. Just about building up a bit of a background here. Oh, the words are upside down on that one. That's okay. We can do that. Some glue down. Put down, rub some glue on top. Some glue there. There. go. Go. There's that one. I think we need a bit more glue down. I've used all my glue up. Let's get a bit more glue. Sticking everything does take a bit of time, but just helps us get a base layer. Go. I think we just need one more piece over here. Oh, that's got a bit of orange on it. That's okay. It's a bit of orange paint from last time I've used. Obviously, when I ripped out the page, I had orange wet paint on my hands. It's okay. Happens a lot. Okay, and let's put this one down here like so. And get another. Encyclopedia paper. Put it over this way. Down there. And rub, put down, put that on top. Then put some glue there. And we've just now switched to the rice paper. Now, rice paper is just a little bit more absorbent than the encyclopedia paper. The glue kind of slips off the encyclopedia paper. The rice paper, the glue's gonna like just get fully sucked in, like soaked into the rice paper. So I do move a little bit faster when sticking rice paper down, just also so then it has less time to stick to my hands when I'm rubbing glue on the back of it. Okay. And then let's put another piece down the base here. Piece here. Ah, it's all sticking to my fingers. And then a little bit of glue on the back of my fingers. Stick that one down there. And that one there goes up there. Trying to make sure I don't get glue on my little stamps that I've put in my palette. Always a smart move. That goes there, and then I'm just going to try and like put a few pieces of my Love Heart rice paper up a bit further where I've got my encyclopedia paper. Just to kind of like mesh the two together. Go, and just put that one up there like so, and then one up there like so, and then I think we might be done sticking. So let's get started. Now, whenever I do a bit of an animal, I like to most times start with just making the outlines and stuff in watercolor, because then it's a little bit transparent and I can move things around if I get it wrong. So let's start off with, like, obviously the flamingo. I need to decide how big I want my flamingo to be. So flamingo has a bit of an oval-like body. So we're just going to start with an oval. Fairly in the center, and then just put a bit of a tail on the end of our oval. And grabbing more of the pink, so the neck, it's a bit like a J. Sort of a top on it, and then it has its beak, and then its two legs. Now, around our flamingo, we're going to have some water. So let's get this blue out, because flamingo's favorite place to stand is in some water. Let's get some water happening. And then I'm going to have a bit of green leaves and forest around our flamingo up the top here. A few different mixes of greens. And there we go. So that there is my watercolor outline. Yay, it's finished. No, it's not. This is just step one of the process. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of our background going. And what I want to do is I'm going to use some modeling paste just to make our paints just a little bit thicker when doing them. So let me grab out my palette knife. And what I'm actually going to do is going to scoop out a bit like peanut butter and put it in my palette. That way then I don't put my dirty paintbrush in my modeling paste, because it's important that your jar of modeling paste stays clean. You don't want to get paint mixed up in there. So you put the seal back in, turn that lid, put it down over there. So let's grab out our watercolors. So I've got some teal, some phthalo blue, and some deep cyan. And then for my green area, I've got the monstral green, the pastel mint, just a regular medium green. And I'm also going to chuck in a yellow in this mix here. It's the dimensional yellow, just so that it's got a little bit more body to it. I find that dimensional yellow is a bit more opaque than the normal yellow, which is kind of what I'm looking for right now when I'm going to have some brightness inside of my green area. So let's grab, first of all, just our deep cyan. We're just going to draw some lines with it. Not really putting more paint on our paintbrush. And then we're going to grab a little bit of our modeling paste. Come in. And do just a few flicks of it. Helps us get a bit of body to it. And then let's grab some of our teal. Once again, just lines that kind of meet in the middle or just over the middle. And then let's grab out some more modeling paste. And then some of our phthalo blue. We just need it a little bit everywhere. That's it. And then we're going to let that kind of dry just for a quick second. Wash out our paintbrush in the water. Let's see the water tub. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a slightly wet paintbrush. Just going to make a few separate circle ripples around our flamingo's feet, and then do a bit of line work and grab some more teal. Just can't do that there, and then grabbing a bit of the modeling paste. Doesn't make sense much now, but it will once we draw our flamingo in. And now let's come and do the green up the top while our blue dries. So the green that we're going to do at the top is just in circles. So we're first doing the monstrous green. Getting our paintbrush. Just doing a few circles. There we go. And then let's get the pastel mint out. Once again, coming in, and we're slowly going to get really close to our flamingo. And we're going to paint just a little bit over it so then our background does go over the edge of our flamingo. And the water as well. So there's the pastel mint circles. And then let's grab out the medium green. And do just a few circles of colour. This is all just about placing our paint. And then grabbing the yellow. So really filling in our gaps now. So the yellow is slightly going to mix with the green that I've got on my paintbrush already, but I did wash it out just a smidge before grabbing the yellow. And now if we grab the modeling paste, mostly clean paintbrush, and come in and do modeling paste circles where we've got gaps. Right, now, before our paint dries, let's grab out our gesso brush. This is the smallest of them all. And we're just going to come out from our flamingo's body. To really make it the center of our art journal page. And mix all of that green we just did really nicely. See? Look at that. And we're just going to use that gesso brush just with the green and the blue meat just a little bit there. And clean that brush out now. So it really does make a nice cool background. And then our next step is going to be that I'm just going to wet a little bit of our water and a little bit of our green, because what we're going to come do is we're just going to rub off some of the paint there so we can see our collage underneath. And I'm going to do that with, I think, a piece of paper towel. Got to grab my paper towel. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to come in and just make a few little gaps of texture. I might switch right here, just real quick. Go making the hearts appear through the gap. There we go. And then what we're going to do is just with the white modeling paste, grab it and come in. Just give a few little white highlights to the water. And there. we go. So our next step, of course, the one bit of green that we decided to show, the one bit of encyclopedia we show has a bit of orange on it. Let's cover that up a little bit there. Right. So let's start working on our flamingo, I think. And then we'll come back and do a bit of stamping, I think, in the water. Okay, so our flamingo. Oh, it requires just a little bit of work. Let's see. So we've got a bit of this fluoro red. I'm also going to put out a few pinks. So I've got the Carice, the pink, there we go. I think I'm also going to put out my pastel bubblegum. And a bit of this fluoro red. Acrylic ink. There we go. Now, I'm first going to get my acrylic ink red and just come in and really get some defined strokes. Then grab the normal pink paint. And then, and birds have feathers, so really decisive, texture-filled brush strokes. So probably not the best thing to be doing on the spine of our art journal, but we'll live. Works really well for there we go. And then just and there we go. And now if we come in and do just a little bit of we're going to do our legs, but we're going to do them with a very thin paintbrush. I'm going to mix a bit of the fluoro acrylic ink red with the modeling paste. Oh dear, I stuffed up the second leg. Okay, hold up. Rub it in, rub it in. Okay. Second leg, up here. Yes, excellent. Cover that bit there. Beautiful. Okay. We're just going to get a bit of teal one coming in. We put the water around it. I am using my finger, but you can do your paintbrush for this section here. I think I might use this thin paintbrush, a bit more modeling paste. Yeah. The thing is when you use modeling paste with a very thin paintbrush like this one, it's important that you wash it out nearly immediately after use, just to keep it nice and clean. And now we just got to do the head of our flamingo. Very important part of it. Well, the beak. So the beak is actually white. Grabbing our paintbrush, a bit of the modeling paste, and it goes into yep. There we are. And then we're gonna do grab our phthalo blue to its eye. You grab some of the phthalo blue and oh dear. Tip. Blend it out just a little bit. And we're just going to grab some of our very dark blue watercolor. And then just some of our black watercolor. Actually, where's the black acrylic ink, if I have any left? No. Okay. Just going to grab our black paint. I'm not going to pour this out because I don't need a lot of it. We need to get rid of that water pool before we come in and paint down our rest of our beak. So just tipping with our bottle here. Come and stroke in a little bit of black, and then just where our eye is, some rogue hairs, my paintbrush. Not helpful. Come in and put a little bit on the eye. Then, just with our leftover bit, we're just going to come in and a little bit down in there, and then just a small grey dot there. Okay. And that there is our flamingo in the center. Look at him. Lots of thick strokes. And we were able to get those because we mixed in the modeling paste. It means that it gets that nice thick texture. Now our next bit is the fun bits. So we've got 5 different mini mark makers in this set. We've got the leaf, the bow, the teacup, the cupcake, and our one of a sketchy circle, so a bit of like a sketchy circle. So we're going to start with, I think, the sketchy circle. I'm getting the phthalo blue and just a little bit of it on it. I'm going to come in and stamp it out. Just a smidge and a few spots. Look at that. And then just some of the deep cyan, a little bit of that on there. And then if we come in and we get a fan brush and some of the modeling paste, and lots of water. And we come in and we flick the modeling paste down. Now you need plenty of water for this bit. Not too much care where they're going to land. There we go. So there's that bit there. And let's come up and do our top section. Now, I was planning on sticking down some leaves. I also have my leaf stamp, but what I might do is first with a bit of water, just grab the medium green and come in and paint just a few random ovals. Just in a few spots. Okay, and then let's grab the monstrel green. Once again, just in a few spots. Come in and paint it. Now, with the leaf mini marker, let's grab out our pastel mint here. Stamp it down in just a few thousand spots. Really make the background work for you. And it just kind of gives a little bit of some lighter little bits and pieces everywhere. And then, while the paint is wet, what I'm going to come and do is, where's my spare leftover rice paper? Here it is. Let's grab out a little bit more of this hot rice paper from Naomi-Jon. And come in and stick these bad boys down. So, grabbing up the gel medium glue, putting a little bit down. This one here, there, on top of the wet paint. A bit of glue on top. Mix the green on top there. And then let's get a bit of the gel medium. Put this one down on the wet paint there. Medium on top. It's okay if the green goes on top of it. We'll still be able to see the hearts. And I think a piece up the top here as well. Wet paint. Mix the paint in over top. Okay, and then with our fan brush, let's grab a bit of our usual just pink. We want to flick a bit of that down, but we need a bit more water. There we go. Bit of the phthalo blue. Come and flick some of that. Go. And now with, I think, the cupcake, we come in and, or, I don't know, we grab a bit of the pastel bubble gum and we just add in a few different strokes. I've got some modeling pastel on there. Go. And then I actually think we need a few little, where's a small paintbrush? I don't know if a skewer is going to do exactly what I want. It's a smallish paintbrush. Okay, so grabbing it, and we're just going to come in and do a little bit of fakey script. And then I actually think if we lift it just a little bit like that and grab in our red, our fluoro red, and just put a little bit on top and let it drip a little bit and then fizzle it out. Drip a little bit. And then a bit on the side here. Just add a bit of water, but don't let it go too far. And then a smidge bit over this way. A bit more over here. And because we've only got that in 4 spots now, we do need it in one more spot, and I think just about there we'll do it. Oh dear, I've got a bit of glue off my fingers in the paint there. Of course. 1 second. Okay, there we go. And I think that there is our flamingo. Oh, actually. Nearly done. Okay. And now we just need this way. A bit over. I think I've added too much fluid red now. Hold up a minute. Trying to balance it out. Okay. I need to pause. Get some pastel mint. And then some teal. Some deep cyan. Okay. And there we go. Finished. And that one there is our, oh, nearly finished actually. Just give me one more flick. Of modeling paste. Land on the bird. And there we go. There is our flamingo. So thank you for coming. Just lift it up to show you. So it's fairly textural. We'll see if the art journal shuts off after this with the modeling paste being so close to the spine. But that one there is our mixed media class. Thank you for coming. We do have a few more classes this week online. We're back to like full out at Scrapbook Fantasies. And yeah, it should be a fun one. So thank you for coming, and we'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and a beautiful week. Bye. Thank you for watching.